Okay, day 3, we're going to look at even odd functions. A function is even if graphically it's symmetric about the y-axis. Algebraically, you do f of negative x, and if you end up getting the f of x function back again exactly as it is, then you know that's an even function. Odd is symmetric about the origin. And algebraically, if you do f of negative x, you get the exact opposite of what you start with. You get a negated f of x. A function is neither if the conditions above are not met. Determine algebraically if each of the following are even, odd, or neither. Okay, so if we do f of negative x here, 3 negative x to the third minus 3 times the negative x. A negative to the third is negative, so this would ultimately be negative 3x to the third. Negative times a negative is positive. So when I compare it to the original, both terms are negated, which means this is an odd function. For the next one, g of negative x, 2 times negative x to the fourth power plus 1. A negative to the fourth power is positive, so this would be 2x to the fourth plus 1. Goes back to the exact same thing that we had, which means it's an even function. For the next one, h of negative x is negative x minus 1 over negative x to the fourth power minus 2 times negative x squared. So a negative to the fourth is positive. A negative squared is positive. So that would look like that. So if we compare, we notice the numerator, while the numerator, one term's negative, the other one's not, the denominator ended up being the same. So it's not like the entire fraction's negated, and the entire fraction is not the same. So this would be an example of where it's neither. Keep in mind for fractions, like if I want to negate 2/5, let's say, that's negative 2/5, or 2 over negative 5. So only the top or the bottom gets negated if you are, negating a fraction. Either the top or the bottom gets negated. All right, and then I think this is the last thing we're going to look at for today. So today's is pretty light. We got an open top box. So these you did a lot of last year, right? You had the piece of cardboard. You wanted to form an open top box by cutting out square corners. And it's a 16 by 30 piece of cardboard. So when you made that into an open top box, this side was 30 minus 2x because you cut off x and x. This one was 16 minus 2x because you cut off x here and x here. And then the height of the box was the x. So the v of x function would be the x, 16 minus 2x, 30 minus 2x. Length times width times height, doesn't matter what order, any order. And then your domain for these was always between 0 and half the shortest side of the cardboard. So what we're doing, domain would be between 0 and 8. The shortest side of the cardboard is 16. Half of that, half of the 16 is where we're getting the 8 from. All right, that's it for today. You got your day 3.